Good afternoon and welcome to today's IELTS analysis class, where I'll be looking at the IELTS task that you have been completing as part of your IELTS studies in the Facebook group, and I will go through the answers to the questions. So for the task I'll be looking at today, you were looking at a summary task, and this is an important element of IELTS reading. You'll find that it's quite popular within the IELTS reading exam to have a summary task where you have to complete a paragraph using the appropriate words in order to maintain the same idea within the summary paragraph as you found within an original article that you were reading. For the task that you were looking at in the group yesterday, which I'll be looking at now, you were being trained to use elements of recognizing word class, for example, noting whether a word was a verb or a noun, noting whether it was singular or plural, noting the relationship perhaps between the word and the preposition following it. Those were the sorts of clues that you were supposed to be picking up on in order to be able to answer this task correctly. So these are the sorts of things that I'll be looking at with you now. So to those who are watching the class live, a big hello, and to those watching this class once it's been recorded, hello to you too. Hello to Jeff, who is in the class right now. Thanks for checking in, Jeff. Great to see you. Anyone else who is live as well, say hi, and let's have a look at the task together. So I'm going to bring the task up now. And here we are. We can see that we have here questions 4 to 12. Complete the summary using the list of words A to Q below. So this is, as I was saying before, a very common IELTS type question. And so what we need to do then is use both the sense of the words. So we have to understand what the words mean. We have to have an understanding of the vocabulary. And also we need to have an understanding of the grammar of those words to see which ones we can use in which space. Hello to Achele Lisa, great to see you. And Priya as well, great to see you in the class today. So looking at the task then and looking at the gaps, let's work through and see which words we should be using. So for the first one, many studies into the psychology of shopping have been carried out, not only by experts in, okay, so an expert in what? So we've got a few options here, but we should be looking at a specific field in this case. And the field that we should be looking at here is marketing. So that makes sense, doesn't it? So if we just put I here, yeah, not only for experts in marketing, like Jennifer Argo, but also by, so we can cross that one off. It's always good to cross them off once you've used them so that you can just focus on the ones that remain. So we're contrasting experts with, or experts in marketing with what? What can we contrast this with? So feel free to make your suggestions. Experts in marketing, what other field or group of people might be studying this topic? And the answer in this particular case is scientists. Okay, so scientists, they are a type of professional and they have been carrying out studies into the psychology of shopping as well. Okay, scientists do studies, so this would make sense in this context. Moving on, and the results can be found in various, where would you find results? Again, let me know if you think you've got the answer. Okay, so we should continue reading actually. Can be found in various something and professional journals. So this is another clue here, a journal. What type of journal would you find results in? Hello to Anne. Great to see you in the class today, Anne. Let me know if you have the answer. Okay, well, the best suggestion would be academic. So you have academic journals, don't you, as well as professional journals. So that would be A. Moving on, among other things, researchers have looked at the difference between shopping alone or with, okay, what's the contrast here? With what? Okay, so some might be tempted to say D, companion, but that would be incorrect because of the fact that companion is singular and we need something that is plural. Okay, because if we were to use companion, we'd have to use a companion. We'd have to use the indefinite article. So in this case, the answer, because it has to be plural, would be others. And it operates as a contrast to alone. So alone or with others. Hello to Alice. Great to see you join the class. Okay, and moving on. Next we have, and at the effect of shopping, so yeah, so the difference between shopping alone or with others, and at the effect of shopping when you have something problems. What type of problems could we be looking at here? So we need a word which will collocate with problems. And the best we can see here from the options available would be money. Money problems. Okay, the other words wouldn't work in this context. They wouldn't make sense, or they grammatically wouldn't fit the gap. So money problems would be the answer, which is another way of talking about financial difficulties. Much of this research into shopping is something by the marketing industry. Okay, so is by. So using this structure then, it seems like we're looking for a passive structure. So verb to be plus past participle and then by. So which word can we see here using a passive structure? Well, we've got funded, haven't we? Funded uses a passive structure. And research is funded. So you've got that connection there. We fund research. So we can put that in. That would be G for number 9. And another word which is in a passive form is aimed, but it wouldn't make any sense in this context. Much of this research into shopping is aimed by the marketing industry, wouldn't make any sense. Whereas funded by is obviously saying this is where the money comes from. Okay, so some great suggestions there from Alice going for funded. Number 10, Ash Jinichi, great to see you making a suggestion here. You're going for E for number 10. Is that correct? Let's see. So it's funded by the marketing industry in order to discover how to, and if we go for E, is encourage consumers to buy more products they don't need. Absolutely. We should cross out funded as well, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. To encourage consumers to buy. So it works, it makes sense. To plus a verb, encourage, and then you've got the object, to, again, plus another verb. So encourage someone to do something. Well done, Ash Jinichi, for that answer. That is correct. And going on to number 11. Let's see. So in order to discover how to encourage consumers to buy more and more products they don't need. So what do we have here? So let's see what you've gone for. Ash Jinichi, again, you've gone for B for number 11. Does B make sense in this context? I believe it does. It does make sense, but also there is the possibility of F. So even though B could be used grammatically in this case, F is actually better because it shows the link more clearly between the previous sentence and the following sentence. Because if you look at it, it says it's also possible to use the same research to help people control their what? Let's see. So Ashjanichi, you've gone for P, which is spending. And this time I 100% agree with you. Definitely, to control their spending would be for number 12. Okay, and so fortunately, because basically the intention of the research was initially to try and encourage more spending, but what the research can also be used for is actually to help them control their spending. So that would be the best word to use there. So those are the answers to the task. I hope you got them correct. If you didn't, make sure you watch this video again carefully so you can see why mistakes were made, and keep on working hard in your IELTS studies going forward. Best of luck, and I'll see you again on Thursday. Until then, take care.